So here we are, folks, the official Samson YouTube channel. One video which we're going to react to in 4K. 750 subs already. That's very impressive. Better than when I started out, but here we go. Nice logo for Liquid Swords, which funny enough is actually on the right, not left hand side. Let's take a look at this trailer. Our main protagonist is called McRae, Samson McRae. So, you remember Mad Max from 2015? Not the god-awful Fury Road, but this. I still haven't finished that game off, but it is such a fantastic, faithful rendition of the character of Max Rokatansky. Now, if I said to you there is a spiritual successor coming out for that game, would you believe me? Of course you wouldn't, because a man who sits in his room wearing a fur-lined jacket and a Jill Valentine t-shirt and a strange head band across his forehead, well, I wouldn't believe me either. But here we are, because while I was catching up on some YouTube stuff this morning, this trailer for a game called Samson popped up on my timeline.
He, him, she, her, and they, them, and then the gender is man, woman.
YouTube's newest hero is here to save the day. His name, Kung Fu Hot Dog.
So I want to give you a bit of a background drop on what this game is all about, thanks to the lovely folks over at Niche Gamer, and then we're going to watch the trailer afterwards, because I feel like that you probably should be owed that at least. So that's the thumbnail of the trailer. The protagonist has a real badass name, by the way, which I'll get into in a second. But developer Liquid Swords, which is a pretty cool name. The studio that launched in 2020 by the Just Cause creator and Avalanche Studios founder Christopher Sundberg has announced Samson, a Tindleston story. I need to say that again. Samson, a Tindleston story. A new consequent heavy noir action game. Now, I've seen the trailer. It's definitely got vibes of Max Payne and Mad Max as well. And it's in development for Windows, PC, so it's just going to be a Steam release or a Steamia release if it's got nude scenes in it, with the Epic Games Store as well. At the moment, they're a bit vague about when it's getting released next year, so I'm going to guesstimate maybe June or July. We built Samson to strike fast and leave a mark, hopefully not a skid mark, or a marquee mark for that matter. It's a raw, physical story with systems that push back at every turn, Liquid Swords founder Sundberg said in a press release. This is the start of what Liquid Swords stands for, and the team has delivered something with real teeth. We've come through a heavy cycle of change and sharpened every part of how we work. The entire industry is navigating pressure right now. Samson is our answer to that reality. A focused project built with intent, not excess. Oh, I like that. This is how we move forward. That last sentence there is pretty cool, because basically what Sundberg is saying is, we're not bringing you a AAA project that cost £400 million or dollars. I'm talking to you, Sony PlayStation, and to you, Concord.
Ooh, makes me want to dance!
I'm going to guess by the looks of this game, it's probably in the region of maybe 50 million, maybe even less. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the Samson trailer.
Tindleston.
Not to be confused with Galveston by Glenn Campbell.
Everyone's either paying
or getting laid,
or buried in between.
Who's the voice actor?
My past mistakes are catching up.
Oh, this is a heavy metal game, baby. Bring it.
Desperation's the currency. You can't outrun debt. You can't freeze interest. You can curl up and die in the street. Or you can fight the fuck back.
I love it. I love it. bare knuckle brawling. I love it. You don't actually see him wielding any weapons here. If you're going to get that at some point during the game, I'm just going to set it on mute for a second. This was absolutely a badass trailer. I mean, it gives you everything you need to know, which I love from the get-go. I don't know who the voiceover artist is. I tried to look this up on IMDb. It's not officially listed on that particular webpage at the moment. But honestly, just the stark images you get fleeting by, it looks really good, actually. I'm sure you can pick up weapons and smack people around. And it does, like I said it in my introduction, it does feel like a spiritual successor to Mad Max from 2015. I like the protagonist of McRae, someone I can relate to. He doesn't have to look like me for me to relate to him. Do you get it? That's how it works.
It's beautiful to see the inclusion in the game and to see yourself represented.
It's a modern story, not for a modern audience. I like it a lot. And yeah, so he's an older guy, not what I'd expect. He's kind of got the shades of Max Payne ever so slightly. He does remind me of the guy that played Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones. And by the way, I should have actually watched Black Sails back in the day instead of Game of Thrones, but I'm going to make up for that very, very shortly. So very Americana. Tindleston, I'm assuming, is a made-up town. Again, all cinematics. So again, I actually want to see some gameplay here. But the fact they're actually previewing this now means there probably is going to be maybe a developer showcase, or we're going to see it in January, or maybe the Summer Gay Fest with Jeffrey Keighley. So the neck break here in the shop is pretty cool. I like that. And yeah, look, this is not a AAA game. It's probably going to be bordering on that, but it won't be boasting itself as that. Like the guy said, Sundberg, where we're talking about a game that's not going to... This game apparently is $24 out of the starting block, which is great. If there's going to be any add-ons, I don't know, but I like the film noir-esque part of it already. And it's gritty, it's dark, it's nighttime or late evening. He's climbing over a fence, going into an industrial plant, so I wonder what's going on there. But obviously each assignment is debt-driven, so he owes a debt to somebody. I don't know if this is the somebody he owes money to, or just a random character that you meet. Actually, you know what? That dude, this guy, looks freaking badass. The Grim Skulls. I think of the Grim Bastards and Sons of Anarchy. That's the initial flashback I had right there. There was, yeah, this guy. Do you know who he reminds me of? I mean, you could say Kato from the Green Hornet. That's it. So that's who he reminds me of. Bruce Lee's... well, actually, Bruce Lee was Kato, wasn't he, in that show? But also Robin, Nightwing, the seedy underbelly of the underworld, and it's not nice. So the Tindleston City PYD or PD or PDD, whatever you want to call it, is just... This is like a Swedish version of America, if you get that drift, which makes sense. There's the Grim Cells guy, so I guess you either fight him or you get information from him. He looks really badass, but these are nice cinematics. There is some implied gameplay, but I think it's all cinematic gameplay. But it's good. I thought I'll make a video about this because you guys seem to react really well to my content when I talk about video games we should be getting a bit excited for, but you know, until we see the finished product, I don't want to be blowing the wind up your sails, if you know what I mean. But one thing I want to show you quickly is where we are on the Steam DB chart. So for some reason, this got updated today. I don't know why, because I couldn't find any further gameplay drops regarding this particular title. Liquid Swords, and there we are. And if you look at the charts at the moment, so the wish list activities are, it's 328, 528 in the top wish lists on Steam DB. But I'm guessing if they drop actual gameplay and Sundberg talking about this game, that will go up a lot more higher. Such an underrated game. It really gained a cult following, but it should have been bigger than the sum of its parts, right? It should have had a sequel at least, but we never got that. And I wasn't a big fan of the Just Cause games, so hopefully this is something that's inspired by those titles, but doesn't bring that DNA into it. But I do want to show you their website, which I thought was Really damn cool.
Zero nonsense video game development.
Thanks, Sir Duke Nukem. Game development has become so full of distractions that affects quality and motivation. I want to change that, says Christopher Sundberg, founder and chief creative officer. And I believe, again, Liquid Swords is taken from the name of an album by RZA or GZA. You know the guy behind the Tu-Wang Clan? No, it's the Wu-Tang Clan. Oh, I love it when I get my words mixed up. And I do believe Mr. Sundberg is wearing a Naughty by Nature t-shirt. So he's a big fan of the gangster rap. I like some gangster rap when it's good. Creativity unleashed. This is quite the statement, actually. When the rest of the world was grinding to a halt in 2020, talking about COVID, Sundberg was gearing up. Having co-founded and managed Avalanche Studios for more than a decade, he had experienced the entire life cycle of a video game several times over. He watched as an abstract idea grew into a studio and then a game and another game and an even bigger studio. Everything was growing and getting louder. Do you know what? I'm taking off my jacket now because I'm getting hotter as I speak, drowning out the craft. Meaningless buzzwords, insatiable stakeholders, overcomplicated processes. Yeah, the insatiable stakeholders is a pretty funny thing to note there, because we hear how stakeholders can influence the impact a video game will have. And in most cases, it can be negative. Black Ops 7, Activision. Where were the stakeholders, bro? Were they blowing coke out of a hooker's dead ass? Instead of turning his back on an industry that had been close to his heart for so many years, Christopher rallied. Here's me reading Swedish, by the way. Grongorat, as they say in Swedish, because as you can tell from my complexion, folks, I too am born and bred in Sweden. Do it again, do it right, do it in the way we used to, when the game development was still fun and creative. This is how Liquid Swords was born. Our kitchen is deliberately small. I love this guy already, because why do you want a big ass kitchen? To ensure that we have the right amount of cooks, the best ones. This man is cooking, oh my god. Studio members work closely in tandem, I was going to say tandem for a second, or in a tavern, taking advantage of both veteran experience and fresh eyes with big thighs. Together we're setting a new standard or score for game development, one that prioritizes creativity over crunch, inclusion over silos, and quality over quantity. This is our world, and these are our terms. Wow, what the hell, man? Holy shit, let me read that part again. One that prioritizes creativity over crunch, inclusion over silos. So Sweet Baby Inc., if you want to infiltrate Liquid Swords, the door is just on the other side. Thanks a lot, Kimberly. Bye.
By day, I am the crazed CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., the DEI-obsessed censorship.
So I wanted to make this quick video, folks. We're 3 days away from Christmas. I will be dropping videos over the Christmas period, pre-recorded maybe, who knows? I might be a madman and do one randomly, spur of the moment. But what did you think? Samson, did you hear about it? I didn't until today, which hence why I got the update on SteamDB, right? Well, let me know in the comments below. Smash that subscribe button, and if I were you and if you were me, I'll catch you catching me for the return of the next video.
Tindleston, asshole of the world. Everyone's either paying, collecting, or buried in between. My past mistakes are catching up. In this city, desperation's the currency. You can't outrun debt. You can't freeze interest. You can curl up and die in the street. Or you can fight the fuck